Hello everyone, my name is Venkatesh Gaikwad and today I will be discussing on the topic of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is originated from economics field. In economics, broadly two categories are there. First being the macroeconomics and second being microeconomics. So there's a difference between them. Micro is a small economics on a smaller scale, whereas macroeconomics is derived from a Greek word that is called as macros, which means study of aggregates, that is study at large, aggregates at large. So what is the nature or what exactly macroeconomics deals with? Is it the working of financial working of the entire nation is the subject or sphere of study of macroeconomics. So what exactly is the nature of macroeconomics? First, it deals with the national income. So when we deal with an individual income, it will be considered as microeconomics. But when we deal with the national income or the overall aggregate income of an entire nation, it will be considered as macroeconomics. Then general price level. So when or how do you discuss or how do you determine the price of a certain product or a certain commodity? You decide that general price level with the demand and supply forces of a market. Let's take an example. Price of a product A is to be decided. Then what will you see that what amount is the product being demanded in the market and what type of supply or how much can you supply that in the market. By doing the comparison between these two demand and supply forces, we will be able to determine that what is the general price level or the aggregate price that you can put on the product. Then employment and unemployment. Now to create an opportunity of employment, you again need to study the entire nation and the situation of entire nation. Then why is the reason why there is unemployment is also studied from the macroeconomics itself. Next, what is the scope or the field of area in which macroeconomics spread its hands? First being the aggregates of national income, the very important factor that each and every consensus we record the national income of our entire country. This aggregate of national income is determined and recorded by macroeconomics itself. It gives theories regarding studies of national income with various methods, product method, output method. These are the various methods in which national income is measured. This is the field of study of macroeconomics. Second is the income and employment theory. Now to determine the employment structure of our India, we need to understand at a larger level how employment structure is there and how income emphasizes this employment structure. To understand this only we need to study macroeconomics. Then fiscal theory. Now in short, fiscal theory means where the money should be utilized. We all have money with us, but where do we utilize that money in a particular manner is to be determined by the expenditure sector or the administrative sector. To emphasize or to give us these slots, the budget is there. In every year a budget is released, so budget allocates certain money to each and every sector of our economy. To properly divide that money, macroeconomics is need to be studied. Then balance of payment also come in fiscal theory itself. Then again, with advantages again comes limitations. Now individuals are ignored. Let's consider an example. In an economy a majority country is there. Then in while studying macroeconomics we will only consider the majority population at that time. Minorities will clearly get ignored in this particular regard, which is the reason why it creates a problem for individual needs. If we look from an individual point of view, aggregate needs does not mean that the person will meet his needs and wants. Suppose I demand the A commodity and the overall community or the overall country demands B commodity, but then A commodity will not be supplied because macroeconomics says that only B commodity should be produced because aggregate is emphasizing that B commodity should be there. The demand and supply forces say that B commodity should be there, which is the reason why A commodity will be ignored. Then it overlooks the individual differences. Again, this very same example that I demand certain commodity which is very less demanded in market. Then again, my problems and my solutions to that problems will be ignored by macroeconomics. Then stress on macro variable. Now, throughout while we study macroeconomics or economics in general, on larger level, we only talk about mostly GDP and national income. Other factors are clearly ignored in this particular regard, and there is over an excessive generalization of each and every theory. Now, while we were studying microeconomics, that is a smaller economics, we used to talk about each and every individual at a particular point of time, but there we used to ignore macro perspective. But when we are studying macroeconomics, we are overlooking and generalizing a lot of things, which is the reason why we ignore individual wants with this. And with this, I have shortly concluded the topic of macroeconomics, its scope, nature, and limitations. Thank you.